What is up, guys? So, I told you guys that I was gonna check out the Real Rejects reaction or review to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and here we are. I have followed Greg Alba for quite a while sometimes, ever since him and Tyro Magnus, Actually, the funny thing is that I noticed Greg Alba since Tyro Magnus. Like, I follow him ever since, Tyro Magnus, and, kind of like introduced it to us as a Magnus fan, So ever since then, I watch him from time to time, every once in a while. Now I don't watch him religiously, like I do with Tyrone Magnus and Hosh Wins, and once in a while Jeremy Johns and Elliot Host. But like stuff like this, like I like to get their opinion on of what they think of the movie so far, and how certain movies like Marvels and stuff, stuff that I love as well and they love as well. We all love, like Marvel, for instance. So, without further ado, let's see what they got to say about the movie.
What is happening there, Reject?
Now I know Greg Alba, but I don't know the other guy, so
the screening for Doctor Strange.
Here's my little misinformation here of this guy's name.
Disclaimer for is that almost every second of this movie is a spoiler. You mean that literally? Like every second of this movie is a spoiler. Here's what I'm gonna do. I pulled up the plot description for this film. Dr. Stephen Strange casts a forbidden spell that opens a portal to the multiverse. However, a threat emerges that may be too big for his team to handle. Now, we've seen a lot of TV spots and a lot of trailers. There's a lot of plot that you're not gonna get in those trailers.
Really? I would expect it.
It's not spoilery. Obviously, our spoiler talk we will be doing live stream. We're aiming for it this Sunday. So cancel plans with your mother on Mother's Day and come hang out with us instead. John Rowe. It's going to be a really fun time. Here's what I'll kick this off with. This movie's called Multiverse of Madness. Is it madness? Bet your goddamn ass it's madness.
You're gonna wake up in PTSD after this experience.
Really crazy? Yeah, damn right they were crazy.
Am I mad? Am I going mad? I must be going mad.
No, it's not perfect. The film's not perfect.
That's funny.
Why would you say that? I hate that criticism. I get it. I've heard you guys say that about anything I've ever said that about before, ever. Some criticisms that I feel like we might be able to dive into without going into spoilers, but let's leave with all the things that are positive about it, because there's so many things that are overwhelmingly positive about it. First things first. This is a Sam Raimi film. This is not Oz the Great and the Powerful, where you slap Sam Raimi's name on there, and you're like, it's kind of a Sam Raimi film, but it feels like they held it back a little bit. There were times where I was like, we are watching...
Not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with Sammy Raimi.
Where Doctor Strange is having a fight. There are times as you've seen the trailer that straight up reminds you of his...
Director of Sammy Raimi is kind of new to me.
Camera work. They really let him be a visual storyteller. I wouldn't say this is my favorite Marvel movie. I would not go there with that. However, it was pretty early on where I was just thinking, this is one of the most exciting Marvel movies I've ever seen. It's probably the most visually dazzling Marvel movie we've ever seen. Like, it is crazy, and just how much they just let him do his thing. The amount of gasps throughout the audience, the amount of applause would I can't explain. Imagine what you saw in the trailers, all the weirdness, times that by 10, and then forget everything you know, because you're never going to even come close to understanding what I'm getting at, because it is insane. It lives up to the title in the best possible way. Would you agree, John?
I would absolutely agree.
Interesting.
Not only does his style really suit the piece, and it doesn't feel like Sam Raimi is at odds with the movie at all or not, it does deliver, I think, a leveling up of some of the intensity, especially just within certain images and certain deeds done and depicted in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are certain things that are actually kind of shocking in a way I was not expecting this movie to go to in a horror kind of setting. So
that's the second. These are the second people that second. This is the second time I hear
outside the
word horror in this movie.
Job of differentiating the godlike
First time it was
from
the
masters
cosmic one.
of the mystical arts and the magicians and the witches and whatnot, and then your traditional sort of Inhumans or super serum injected characters. Like, they do really have a great grip on that sort of occultish end of the MCU, and it gets pretty demonic at points in a way I was kind of surprised by.
This movie was just pure popcorn entertainment. It has that wonderful camp and cheese that is just so damn
I like some
charming, and
demonic
it's so
stuff
effective.
every once
At
in a while.
times,
Every
maybe
once in a
not the
while.
most
I kind
effective,
of
but
like all the
most of
paranormal
time,
and
it's pretty awesome.
and
Shocking
some
at
kind
times,
of
arguably the
satanic
most
ritual.
imaginative. This feels like a
Kind of
Doctor
like the
Strange
Scarlet
comic book
Witches.
life.
That's
I
why
really
I'm a
like
fan of
Benedict
her.
Cumberbatch a lot in this
You know,
movie. I would say
like her
that
power.
the one who stole the show
I know it's a little,
was Wanda. Like, I
it's
think
a little dark
Wanda-
in me, but hey, man,
Wow, like
you like what
such
you
a
like,
presence,
so
they keep
it is what it
a
is.
lot of her story out of the promos for this, and she's great. It picks up.
Damn, look at
after
that! Look at
There's
her
been a
face,
little bit
man.
of
It's
time
on
for
the
their
face,
character.
man. I'm getting the creepy black from that already.
Find out for yourself. They definitely are building upon and segueing right out of that into this. So brush up on WandaVision if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, because I think if you haven't seen WandaVision, they give you like a recap.
I expected
That's part
it,
of the
yeah.
issue
That's
that
what
I
I said
have
on the
with this
previous
film.
video
I'll dive
when
into
I
that
did
in a
the
second.
reaction to
Elizabeth
Cosmic Wonder
Olsen
and
does
his
something so
review on
different
the
here than what she did in
Multiverse of
WandaVision,
Madness.
and yet still steals the show. You know?
Absolutely.
It didn't even take adjusting, actually. No, I was like, no, this is, yeah, I love
Wanda's
what she's
movie.
doing. Yeah, this is great stuff, man.
Absolutely. Keep it coming.
I really like what she's doing. Zoe Gomez is also very excellent in this film. I was really endeared to her character. Are there cameos? You guys know there's cameos. And
Multiverses.
Whoa.
Wowie.
I found out that some of them are on the internet, so avoid at
Stay
all
offline.
costs, please.
Okay.
They know what they're doing in this movie.
They do, and they know it makes it so hard to talk about what they're doing in
Yes,
this movie.
let's say there's some good horror in the film. There's some amazing.
I don't follow
action,
much
a
of
lot
internet
movies
and
that truly
the little
generate plot
leaks
stuff.
You know, I'll
into
say
certain
this too.
movies.
I'm usually much more
'Cause I don't wanna
of a
spoil myself,
reserved
you know,
audience
so I
member
don't
in a theater
care
to
too
be
much.
respectful,
Reviews
but
is good because they
I
can have
was
a different
pretty
opinions of what they think
vocal
so
in all
far before I go
ranges
see it
of
myself.
emotion For
But as far as
a
like
lot of
spoilers,
film
I don't do
throughout,
that.
So,
Or
yeah,
people
it's
leak
damn good
into
crowd
what the
film for
movie
sure.
is really
Rachel
about
McAdams
and shit.
portraying
I
this
don't
film
do
is
that
pretty
either.
freaking solid.
I don't
enjoyed
check it
more
out.
than I did in the first Doctor Strange movie. I would agree. Some things that I think are kind of issues for me. This really wasn't an issue for me in the first like 20 to 30 minutes of the film. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a Marvel movie like this so entertaining in the first
Like,
30
rollicking
Like,
along,
it's
yeah.
just so entertaining. Yeah. The movie constantly moves really fast, but the thing I would liken it to, and this is gonna sound worse than it actually sounds, and I'm not just saying this to be nice, but this is the only thing I can really think of right now to give a basis for how I would liken it without spoiling things. You know when you don't watch those DC shows, but you want to see the crossover event? So you watch the crossover event, and it's like
Okay.
super fast-paced, super quick. It's kind of like a bunch of exposition nonstop.
Yeah.
And this movie felt like it needed 20 more minutes. It felt like that to me, but a darker, better version of that. It was definitely rushed at times, and at times it is
Okay.
like, messy, and not in the way that feels intentional. There are times where it is just like there's too much going on. To me, ultimately, I was still left going, this could have used an extra 20 to 30 minutes to breathe. It really could have. And then other times it needed that pacing. Like this movie excels a lot of the time in the pacing that it's doing, and then other times I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish it would slow down.
In various scenes, when it does slow down, when it does indulge in the emotional journeys of the characters that are running alongside this, I kept finding myself going, oh yeah, it's a good scene, I like this, let's do more of this. And I do wish they had balanced the movie out with more of that kind of stuff, because it does, especially with certain characters, start to feel like, okay, you're just here for some
Look at it.
and that's kind of all we have time for,
Look
and
at
your
it.
emotional arc is a little
Cosmic
bit
Wonder.
perfunctory.
Hey Warren, you talking about American Chavez?
I'm talking
Yeah.
about American Shop.
Yeah, because American Chavez, Xochitl Gomez elevates the role.
Yeah,
by
this
us.
did
I
his-
think that about
This
American
is his,
Chavez, too. It's
is
like,
you know, his
Multiverse
movie review on
reactions,
the
the
Multiverse of
characterizations and the character journeys, you know, the emotional stuff that isn't the first thing you think of when you come into these movies, is something that is a little bit more lacking. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's one of those things where you look at the shows and you look at the movies and you go, damn, the benefit is we have all that time to dive into the characters. And while I liked the emotional journey they had laid out for Doctor Strange, I liked what having Christine Palmer back did for that story as well, and it's just all stuff I wanted more from, and I wanted to be more affected by. It's like there's good work and there's some good writing, but it's not what gets the focus, and I think that it makes some of the, again, emotional payoffs feel a bit perfunctory or feel a bit like, you know, the plot requires that.
Yeah.
Instead of letting you live within the building of certain relationships or the letting go of certain traumas or the, you know, coming to face with your legacy in a, you know, multiversal kind of way.
Yeah, it's like part of the point is it's supposed to be madness. There's a way to make chaos feel smooth and natural, and other times you're like, nah, I really think this needed like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like there's madness in the plotting and in the things that are happening, and I wanted to feel more of the madness.
So if they want a little bit longer
I
of
wanted to feel the emotional madness throughout.
Yeah, I think the reason why I felt that way is because even though it was like full of that wonderful Sam Raimi aesthetic and tone overall, a lot of scenes like looked wonderfully gothic or horror centric, yet for some reason the film seemed to lack in suspense. And when it seemed like it was really going for that, but it was always fun though. That was the thing. It really made up for it in how fun it was. And there's just so many scenes, so much information. A lot of it is just mainly following plot points and reveals, and there are things that might be plot holes, but I'm not sure any second viewing.
It's really hard to explain it because there's so much that's not in the trailers that makes it spoil the film.
The stuff that I'm talking about that's not in the trailers, it's like they're
A lot of swerve into play.
So
As usual for Marvel, because you know how they do it.
Trailers
They get you all hyped up in the trailer, believing like that's gonna be part of the trailer. Then when you go watch the movie, they like swerve you,
myself desiring more. However,
and they shock you
because of the
even
fact
more
that it
with
was
certain
such a
details and
visually
different
exciting
parts they put
film,
in.
because how Wanda
certain
was so
movies.
cool in this movie.
That's
I'll say,
Marvel.
man, I know the movie was effective to the point where there would be these things that happened later on in the film that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the trailer showed you that snippet of that scene. A lot of times, you kind of go, where's that scene that we saw in the trailer? Waiting for it, and I would completely forget about it. So it was effective. Danny Elfman's score, awesome in this film. Overall, I did leave going like, I can't wait to watch that again on IMAX. Like, this is a theater-going, exciting experience.
Absolutely, and because there's so much in it, like I'm really excited to see how a second viewing changes the experience and what I like more or just as much or less, depending on that.
But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. Subscribe to look out for our spoiler talk. What are you looking forward to most about this movie? Talk with you guys soon.
Interesting. Okay, so they both have both of them have like a similar take on the Cosmic Wonder. They have similar takes. Some of them wish all three of them, they wish that the movie can be maybe a little bit longer, and as Cosmic Wonder said, like the movie itself, like it had like a lot of horror stuff into it, which I'm into horror movies depending on what it is, like satanic and demonic and spirits and stuff like that. I'm pretty cool with, but yeah, so I see this gonna be like my type of movie. I could kind of see that already, so yeah, I'm excited for it, and that's good perspective and good take on what they think of the movie, but yeah, so it's not gonna influence of what I think of the movie, that's for sure, because I like to get people's different take on, especially if they seen the movie without any spoilers, on what did they think of the movie so far without giving any spoilers, as I said, so that way it give me a good feeling like, okay, this movie is gonna feel good, you know what I mean, like it must be like I'm not gonna be disappointed, let's just leave it as that, I won't be disappointed, and anybody else for that matter won't be disappointed in this movie. I didn't think anybody would be disappointed. I don't think anybody would be disappointed in this movie. I think this movie is gonna be good. I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna have a lot of action. It's gonna be some interesting, good storytelling. To certain characters like Doctor Strange and Wanda and Scarlet Witch and stuff like that, and I think this is gonna be good. I really think so. I think so. Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange I liked. If I could get a rating from 0 to 5, I would say probably a 3 out of 5. Certain things, I didn't really care for, but there's like a lot of action and just Doctor Strange itself, the character and the story, I loved, Certain other characters I didn't really care for, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5 for now. Up till maybe if I rewatch it again, and maybe I'll change up my reviews. But yeah, let's see how it is though for Doctor Strange 2. Maybe maybe the reviews are gonna be the same or different. I don't know, but either way, I'm interested. I am for this movie. I cannot wait. So you guys stay tuned for my review on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And yeah. what do you guys think is gonna happen on the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And make sure you guys click on the notification bell so that way you guys can get more upcoming videos in the near future. And if there's any videos you guys want me to do a reaction or do a challenge, you can always just leave it on the comment section down below. And if you have any questions for me, you can either leave it on the comment section as well, or you can email me at greatenzo97@gmail.com. Alright guys, well, until next time, peace out.